Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is the real DIY Granddad, and I'm in my shed at the moment, just conducting a few experiments. I'm just messing about. Number one, as you can see straight in front of you, I hope yeah, I can see that it's not blind or anything. In the camera it's a lot better. It's I've had them on now, them two lights there. These are for my as you see my camera boom. It's got the microphone, the stereo microphone and everything. I've built it all in. On my stolen channel, it was I showed the process of it getting made, etc. So now what I'm doing is just testing out the batteries on it, because I made some batteries and gave them. Well, I didn't give them. My son took them. So what I've done is I've just got another couple of batteries. What I'm using is the 8650 batteries from laptops and drills as such, and I've strung 3 of them together there in series, which is now give me, because all of them when they charge up fully, well, I'll just show you that. Them there, they say 3.89, that's what I put on them, but after being charged up they go up to about, I'm not sure, about 4.2, so it gives you a little over 12 volts, 12.2 volts. Them lights there fine from anywhere between 8 volts and 12 volts, and they give you a nice bright. So that's operating probably on about 11.5 volts. It's been operating like that for 2 hours now on these 3 batteries here. Them 3 you see in the holders, them 3 there are what is powering them now, these 3 here. And at present now, I've got them at like the 3.89 volts, 7, and it comes to about 11.10 volts, which has been powering now for about 2 hours. I think all 3 batteries together, they're in series, so the ampage stays the same, but the ampage on them are 3,200 milliamp hours anyway. So that's why I've got them going into each one. They're all cold. I'm checking the, oh hang on, I think I've got a hot one there now. I'm checking the temperatures of them all, and Lily May has been playing with my, so that's at 30, what is that, 38, 28, 32, 22. That one's a little bit hot, but I never fully charge them. The middle one's a little bit hot, so you sometimes get that. So what I'll do is I'll just move these 2 batteries a little bit further apart, move all the batteries a little bit further apart, and I'm just checking them. But they've been operating now for roughly 2 hours, and they're doing fantastic. I haven't done a test, I haven't done a check yet because I'm using my multimeter. I have another multimeter, but it's somewhere in this shed. I can't find it. My assistant, the wife that is, she's the one that put them away, so I have a problem finding things. So at present now I'm just going to see how long it takes for them to run down before I actually put a balancer on them. I will be putting a balancer on these batteries here. I'm just having a look to see if I can see my hand pointing down here. These batteries here, I will be putting a balancer on them. Same as the pack underneath, because if you remember rightly, I've built another pack that's under there. That's to, it's just to go in the glove box of the wife's car to operate her camera. Because what it is, in her car, there's no I couldn't be bothered putting a direct voltage in. You know, rigging it up to the 12 volts direct and then reducing it. Sorry about that, just having a drink of water. I couldn't be bothered doing that, so what I've just done is I had this battery pack, I've built a battery pack for it, and I do know that battery pack there would run it runs the wife's car for roughly 4 days before it needs charging up. And what she does, she can either bring it in the house, charge it up on one of these chargers here, because it's all free energy, or she can charge it up in a car. You just, on this end here, it's got the USB, she can just plug it straight into a car and charge it up that way. So while she's driving, So because what happens is air ignition is everything, literally the power completely goes off except for the alarm. And I couldn't be bothered, like I say, I can't get under the bonnet, can't stand too long and all this, like couldn't be bothered getting in there and, you know, securing a place to, you know, yeah, click the wires on so that the camera runs 24/7, because it has passive on it and motion detection and all this lot, so that while the car's parked up, it's got front and rear cameras. The whole car is protected right round by camera. And what happens is it's got a passive on it, the motion sensor. Anyone comes within say 20 feet of the car, it will automatically turn it on and record them. So as you all know, on my stolen video, for the new people, a welcome to everyone that's just come to my channel. You will find that she had a car bash, someone hit and run a car and bashed all the front of the car in. Well, it's been repaired since then. So I opted to put the camera system in. But not only that, I can sit and watch the wife's bad driving and put it on there, let her watch it, she gets embarrassed. Anyway, what it does is, it does that. So effectively, what I'm going to be doing when I put these in, it will be constantly 24/7 recording, well, in standby. Whereas in the car, you plug it into a cigarette lighter, and I don't like that. I was going to change it anyway and just wire it straight in, but I've got nowhere to wire it for me at the moment, so because my sons are far too busy in their own jobs, etc. So I use this battery pack now, and it's just charged it up now. It's been charged up, so it's going back in. She just sticks it in the glove box of the car, and I just run the cable through into that, and it runs a car camera. You know, not only that, she gets cheaper insurance because of it. So that's what I'm doing. So what I'm doing now, these three here, yeah, I've built them for these for my my camera boom. As you can see, it all operates just by turning and everything on the stick at the back, and it gives you it literally does give you a smooth, you know, smooth video when you're panning round with it and stuff like that. I can extend it so it goes up to about 7 foot high, so I can take the camera, well, this part, if you can see my hand, can you see my hand at the back? Yeah, this part here will go right up to 7 foot, and then I have like no, sorry, it goes up to 5.5 foot. Then with the arm and this end is extended up, it will go up to 7 foot, and then this bit on top gives you about 7.5 foot. So you can actually pan something from 7 foot high and look down at them on it. So that's basically what this is. I'll show you more about this when I put it in use. I've got the batteries strapped on because I'm strapping the batteries onto the pole up there. So anyway, that's it on that for now of the batteries. As you can see, I have a ton of, you know, old laptop batteries. Out of laptop batteries, I'm telling you, I showed you on the last, on my stolen site, these 18650 batteries. You get them in there, laptop batteries, drill batteries, and stuff like that. Rechargeable batteries. You can even get them from the kit cars there, you know, like in each one. See, out there, you're looking at, it's not actually a battery. When it's singular, it's a cell. And when you connect the two, it becomes a battery, and 3, it's a battery. So effectively, that's what these are. You know, you don't use them in singular, which I am now, because I am conducting an experiment at the moment now. As you can see there, I've got 4.23 volts on the my multimeter. This battery here is another 18650, but it's one of the older ones. And what happened was, I took it out, it was overcharged, so it was actually in a Toshiba laptop. So to me, the battery balancer had broke down and caused this battery and another one, that one there, from the same laptop to actually overcharge, and it overcharged up to like that one's 4.23, and they're around about the same 4.23. That one, and this one was out of the other battery, which is out of an Acer. That one is 4.21, I think. So them batteries overcharged, because you want them around about all these batteries here, all the rest of them there. Although these say 151, that's not what they are. I charged them up, but they're all 3.86, so these 3.89. So that's okay to string them together there. And this battery here, so it's at, as you can see, 4.23 volts, and this small motor here, this motor when it's spinning, which it is spinning there, you can't hear it. It's totally silent, but I'll let you see it, see what's happening. Look, you can see it there wobbling, and you can hear it vibrating a little bit. It's wobbling there. It's running from this battery here, and I connected them both about the same time. Literally, I connected them both at the same time. Now this Samsung 18650 here, it's gone down to 422 now after 2 hours. It's been on 423, well 424, so it's used 0.2 of a volt in 2 hours. It's like 1.1 of a volt per hour on this battery here for this motor. And this motor's a good little motor. It can run on anything from 1 volt, where it's got 4.23 volts, and this can run on, this will take this right down to 1 volt, because that'll run on anything from 1 volt going up to 6 volts, this motor. They're quite good little motors. It isn't actually a motor, it's a generator, one of the small ones, and you can get them from eBay. You can buy them for about £3 for 10, I think they are. And what I do is I'm using them in conjunction with them, see the little yellow fans there? I'm using them for experimenting outside on wind power, and you can still hear it vibrating there now, wicked. But if you look there, I'll just pull on the wire a bit and you can see it moving still, because so it is running constantly. It runs constantly from the just put it over here and dance back over where it's dancing to. I can even put something on it, look. Let's have a look. Let's see if it'll spin that. Look, it's running. So that one's been running constantly. Just need to get the live put back in there. It's been running constantly, and you know. So my intentions are to go back up to 4.23. So it's been running 2 hours. That battery has been running that little motor for 2 hours. So, and they're quite strong little motors, them. So I have that, which I'm testing that out. I want to see how long it takes, which I'll let you know in a video tomorrow, or the day after, how long it took to run that battery down and how long it took to run these 3 batteries down here. 2 hours. I very rarely film for 2 hours. So the lights already have passed the test. The heat, just slightly warm. They're just slightly warmer. If you remember in the last one, I drilled holes through there and through the bottom, so that the air can like circulate and run across that. They don't need to be waterproof, because I'm not really filming outside. But well, if I do, it's not a problem. Just stick a bit of tape over the top of them, you know, to keep them dry, and that, you know, that would be fine on that. So there's a little bit of something what I'm doing, because I'm just in experiment. You know, as you know, you can see all my solar panels. I still haven't got them ones up. Them solar panels still haven't been up. I will put them up probably this weekend and get that all filled in. I need to strengthen that up a bit there, which I have a part to screw in the bottom to keep that level. That's the slope I have on it, you know, so any snow at the winter time, it's easier to slide it off if it's already sloped rather than have it flat. And as you know, I'm still in the process of experimenting with solar. At present now, I can say in the UK. So for all you people in America, Asia and places like that, with all the lavish sunshine in most states you're in, my advice is go solar. And they're dead cheap now. You're talking, I'm down to paying around 52 pence per watt. That's how you measure it. If you go back 20 years ago, the cheapest I could get solar panels for was around £19.80 a watt. That's what it used to be. So if I wanted 100 watt, it would cost me nearly 2,000 quid. Today, something like 20, 30 years later, you're now paying 50 odd pence per watt. So 100 watts is a 50 quid for a panel. 100 watts, less than 50 quid actually. They're getting cheaper and cheaper every day. So now, if you're messing about with solar panels, my advice, don't go less than 250 amp hour on your batteries. This is just a quick for anyone to start off with. Don't mess about with anything lower than 250 amp hour batteries. Use deep cell batteries or marine batteries, whichever, as long as they say lead acid. Use them. They'll last easily 7 to 10 years. I've got 3 batteries there. That's now on 8 years now, and they're still, it's totally strong. Absolutely nothing. They've been plumbed up to my. I used a smaller panel. I admit I used a smaller panel. It was mostly trickle charge, but now they get fast charge. As you can see there on my 2, I've got my other one strung on the wall now, and I have 2 of them there, both reading 14.4 volts. That one at the top now at the present, because I've got all my lights on, is reading out at 12.4 volts. That's the one where it's reading out 12 volts. Them batteries are like on the 8th year now, so I'm doing extremely well with them batteries. So I would advise everyone, if you're going to do it, you want 250 amp hour batteries. Stick to 12 volt. You don't need, you can use buck converters to increase, or you can use inverters to, you know, get your 240 volts like me, or your 110 volts depending on what you want. You can do all that from 12 volts. I wouldn't bother with 24 volts or anything like that, because that's too much of a mess about stepping down the power for your 12 volt stuff. Most stuff you can find on the market today is 12 volt. You know, all the 24 volt stuff is very expensive. Even the bulbs and stuff like that are very expensive. Stick to your 12 volt solar system. Like I said, a minimum 250 amp hour batteries. So if you get 2 at say 125 amp hour each, there's your 250. And your solar panels, to charge them up, stick to 2 100 amp hours, or if you can go higher, you get 300 to 150 amp hour, 250 watt solar panels. So if you get 250 watt ones, you've got 300 watts there charging up your batteries. That is the most safest route to go. Use the polycrystalline solar panels. I know there is other ones out there much more efficient, you know, well, not much more efficient. They say more efficient, which get, you know, 20% efficiency or 15% efficiency or 10% or even 5% efficiency in the solar world. Really, truly, it's nothing. It's nothing. You can create ample amount of electricity. This shed I'm sitting in now is totally off grid. I can cook a meal in here if I want to. I have 3 240 volt out there, 230 volt outlets. I have umpteen 12 volt outlets, umpteen 5 volt 5 volt outlets for, you know, running your smaller stuff like mobile phones, tablets, etc. And, you know, there is that much power in this shed. It's just unbelievable. And I'm putting that other solar panel up, which that solar panel I'm going to be dedicating that to a battery wall. I'm building a 18650 battery wall, so I will be charging it up from them. I will also be using these capacitors here. I built these capacitors. If anyone doesn't know anything about capacitors, capacitors are going to be the future, to be honest. They're slowly replacing batteries in lots of things. These are 2.7 volt 100 farads capacitors. They're very powerful. They hold, well, 100 farads there on each. I've got 6 in series. Gives you 600 farads. That's a lot of ampage. They're very high on the ampage and low on the power. So when you've got 2.7 volts, they string 6 together, you've got 16 volts. Then you just buck down if you're using 12 volts like I do. Use a step down converter. Get a buck converters. They're called buck converters or step down converters. You can buy them off eBay, get them from China. They're only about £2. And if you have that system there, where you're running 16 volts there, and you've got a 12 volt charge coming, which is ample, it just keeps them, boost them up to 16 volts. And then what them do there was then boost your batteries, you know, come down on your 186 650 batteries. So I'll be using both. That's an experiment I'll be doing next with my battery wall. Experimentation using batteries and capacitors. So that's what I plan to do in the future. I'm going to need a lot more batteries. Like, I intend on getting somewhere in the region of about 300 18650 batteries. So anyone, people that know about batteries and know about electricity and power and stuff like that, that's going to be one awful power wall. I will be literally on the batteries alone. I will taking them up to, I'll be doing like a 6-volt version, 12 volt, and then straight onto my 230 volt version there of power lines, where I'm going to be putting on my power wall, whereas I'll have like 20 batteries for the 6 volt, etc. And I will be charging direct from the sun. I have other experiments. I'm going to be experimenting in wind, also in fusion. I will be showing you that. It's a little bit more complex. It's very easy to understand, but a little bit more complex than what. Not as complex. It is, to be honest, it is easy. Where you've seen the parabolic magnifiers. Well, I'm going to be experimenting with that stuff. Where I will be designing the system where there's a rod going to go down the centre and it's going to get red hot from the sun. And I want it so it's just small sun, but I'm not interested in full sunlight as long as I can get a beam. So I will be showing you that in the future for a future project. But at present now I'm just messing about with these 18650 batteries and solar. Sorry about that, I've just took a drink of water. Anyway, that's enough for now. I will let you all know and show the results of the batteries tomorrow. And we see how they go. So you can see there, if you want to write the numbers down on this battery here, yeah, there, and it's at 4.22 volts, and I have them there, which I've never checked the voltage. I can't check the voltage because I've got it strapped to that and I want to keep that on. So, and we'll see how long just them 3 batteries, 18650 batteries last, and they're connected together in series. So a series means you're connecting live to earth and then live to earth. So what I've done here, I've connected the live there to the earth there, and then the earth there is connected to the live there, and then I use that earth and I use this live here. That's how you connect in series. Always remember, never use the same earth on the same battery when you're doing in series, because you will cause trouble. The heat on that one there's a little bit hot in the middle. That one's freezing cold. This one's freezing cold. So I may I've got plenty there. I can might swap this one out. But I'm not sure with this one why it's running like that, because there was this one. No, that's 3.89, 3.89. I think this one's 3.80. So it's only 0.9 volts down. So I should have charged it up the same, leveled them all off. So it's not level. It wasn't balanced when I started it. So I will be putting these on. These are all my balancers. These are what you use to balance the batteries up and that. And then put a protection circuit board on them. I have that one. I have these bigger ones here which I can string 4 batteries together. We'll be using stuff like that. I'll show you how to connect them and everything when I get into building them 3 batteries properly, just like the pack I have underneath. If I can get that out of there. Just because as you can see, I've just stuck a bit of tape on them just to test them out to see how long them lights are going to run on these 3. So I might swap that middle one out, because that feels, although it's just warm, hot, but these 2 are freezing cold, whereas that one is just warm. So it's not bad, to be honest. And these batteries here, as you can see, the board's in there. That's what's balancing these batteries up. And I did make a mistake with it. I needed to crank the power up a little bit more, which I'm going to. So, but at present it works. Just plug it in, plugs it into the wife's car, and that's it. She's away. She'll get a couple of days. I'm going to increase it. She'll probably go 2 weeks by the time I'm finished before she'll need to charge it. As with these, as with this 18650 batteries, I charged these up about I don't know, December last year. and as you can see, I charged them up December last year. So once a year I need to charge them. This year I'll show you what I will be doing on that. It's just experimental stage. I just want to see how long that motor there, how hot it gets, which is freezing cold. The battery itself is freezing cold, so under load that battery's doing well, although the battery was overcharged. Anyway, on that note, I'll say a great big thank you, and a big thank you to all my old patrons. That all came from my my stolen channel. I really do appreciate everyone there, and a great big thank you to all you newbies that's coming to visit me. I do hope to see more of yous. I do go into the comments, etc., and all that lot, so please leave comments, chat amongst yourselves and all. Everyone's welcome. I have quite a few friends that really do the chat with each other. Get involved, everyone. You know, if you see anything I'm doing and you think I'm doing wrong, tell me. You know, give me ideas. Anyone got ideas? Tell us what you think. So you know, any good ideas. I'm open to everything. As I say, I'm in this here. What I'm doing here is experimental. So if anyone's enjoys this stuff, get involved, let me know. Okay, on that note, a great big thank you to everyone. Goodbye.